Good morning, Kim.
Okay, so is it true under parking legislation only the council and courts can issue fines?
In short, yes, that's true. Private individuals and companies are not able to issue parking fines. They can do other things. They can sue you under a breach of contract and so on, but they can't issue fines. Only the courts or the police or the council can do that.
So when you drive into a car park, you're effectively entering a contract with the owners, in this case,
Yes.
Care Park?
Yes, that's right. I think most people would accept when they drive into a car park there's some sort of agreement to pay the fees that apply to the car park, yes.
So given Care Park is a private company, and you've just talked about the parking legislation or fleshed that out for us,
Yes.
Do people have to pay these fines?
I think they probably don't. It'll depend on the circumstances around each person. So this is not a fine, so they don't have to pay a fine. If it's a payment notice, which I think it probably is, that's a payment under a contract. So it depends on the circumstances that they enter the park, if they agreed to the contract, if they know what the terms of the contract are, what the damages under that contract would be, and so on. So I think those people should be writing to Care Park and asking for evidence of the contract, evidence that they accepted the terms, and evidence of the parking infringement before they make a decision as to what to do.
Andrew sent a text saying, "Morning, Kim, we received 3 fines last week, all of which had been sorted previously, including fines for their faulty ticket machines and reported to them at the time of parking." Why would a company look at fines retrospectively, like back to 2022, and they are issuing, the term fine has been used,
Yes.
worth thousands of dollars?
Yes, well, it shouldn't be. The term fine shouldn't be used because it's not a fine. At most, it's a liquidated damages claim, which is obviously a legal term, but it's a claim under a contract, and that should be clear in the notice. If it's not, if they use the word fine, then it's not a fine. Retrospectively, they probably shouldn't be doing that. There's nothing legal stopping them from doing that. In a sense, you can bring a claim for breach of contract up to 6 years old, but I think the courts would be fairly unhappy with them if they have many payment fines that are very old, and I think it'll be hard for them to prove because the people will forget what they did and when they did it.
Yeah, that's true. So just want to qualify this then. It's not a fine. It's
Right.
payment under the contract. But
Yes.
if we're talking like that, then do you
Yes.
have to pay the fines or the
Yes.
the money?
Yeah, I have to give you a legal answer, which sort of depends. When you enter a car park, I think everyone would accept that you enter some sort of contract to pay for parking. It's not a free service, so I think we accept that. But really, the question is, well, what terms were available at the time? So when they drove in, did they get a sheet that said the terms? Did they sign it and return it? Did they see it? Was there a big sign saying if you stay longer, you've got to pay $5 an hour or whatever? And did they, if they drove past that and pressed the button to enter the gate, did they accept those terms? So it really depends on the circumstances of the particular car park and the particular person. And that's why I'd recommend, rather than just ignoring them or paying them, I think people should be writing to Care Park and saying, well, what do you say I did? If you say there's a contract, what is the evidence of that contract? Where was the sign? How do you show that I agreed to it? What were the terms of that contract? And what evidence is there that I stayed longer than I was supposed to?
Okay, and we reached out to Care Park too, Alex, and at this point we haven't heard back. Fingers crossed that we will, but appreciate you weighing in on the conversation this morning. Enjoy your Monday.